Hey, here's a quick video talking about some lighting. These recently came back off rental. We had one bad par can. I've got two of these. Two of these that do just fine. They're not incredibly bright, but they spread light all around and they're great. So we had a bad par can and went in and fixed this when we were going to replace it, but we actually fixed it, pulled it off of here. But the problem is, one thing I do is hardwire all the power cables. So you'll notice this is our input DMX here. We have our output DMX and our power cable. Power cables all run along here. They go, this is a weatherized junction box you get from Home Depot. A little ugly. This gets taped up, so this will have electrical tape on it. Power draw is minimal for this stuff, and I've been doing this setup for 10 years or so, and no issues at all. The common failure points is if you'll have some of these cheaper lights have very thin wire, and getting them to crimp to these can be an issue. Every once in a while we'll have one go bad, but it's very rare. But we did have a par can just stop working, and it turns out that on the inside of the can there is a mogul plug. This power cable comes in, goes to a mogul plug on the back side of this here. That was unplugged, probably from just getting bounced around. But the one thing you got to watch for with these par cans is these frames are metal. They get knocked around and they take abuse. That's just the way they are. Let me give you a look at the front of these. The cans themselves are actually really, really sturdy. There are metal threads on the inside, so they will hold just fine. You're going to be having to tighten these constantly. And you may want to buy some extras for parts. Buy one or two for parts because you'll need them. The other issue is these all have, these particular ones, they're all 8 channels, but what each channel does is different from manufacturer to manufacturer. So you want to make sure you're buying the same manufacturer, because channel 1 might do one thing on one light and might do something completely different on another. So here I've got my setup. There's another can here. We were going to use that, but it didn't work. That one, let me show you these Chinese lights here. So the issue is, if you look at it, look how tiny these wires are. And let me strip these real quick. I'm going to set the phone down for a second. Sorry about the bad editing, but I just don't feel like doing multiple videos here. Okay, look how little copper there is. I'm trying to get a good view on this. Look how little copper there is. I just can't even see it. Look how little copper there is on these lights. I mean, it's hardly anything. You know, so it makes it, when you're putting a crimp end on there, it makes it hard to do. So you want to make sure those ends are secure. We're going to turn these lights on. These are probably 7 or 8 years old now. You can hear those fans, like this one right here, pretty loud. Let's set this one to D025, and we'll save it so that it turns on the same way. Yeah, these things make noise. These little bearings inside of the fans, they get loud, unfortunately. So these are set for higher numbers because they usually typically go in the back. White on one side, white and green. And we can use a little bit of air here. So if we go to let's go to, not a strobe, let's go to a chase. I have them set up as 3 doing one thing and 3 doing another. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with when you're... But the nice thing is, once this is all tightened up, We're going to tape that up. Make sure there's no issues at all. Use a lot of tape. Anyway, once it's all done, this thing is pretty much plug and play. The addresses don't change. Cans stay on there. Everything stays the same. So these are RGBW. These are, oh gosh, 3 watt per bulb maybe. There's 12 LEDs on here, I believe. I don't know. It's not a lot, but you know, it looks cool from the back, you know. All right, that's all I got for now.